lash out some frustration about my genius. I think I've talked about this before, but maybe not in specifics. Last night I was at a hostel. It was maybe 3, something like that. I was about to go to sleep. I had put my phone away, as well as the recorder and the camera, which actually, it's funny, were the 3 only things that I could have used to record anything in a locker, because otherwise people can steal your shit. Which didn't prevent me from falling asleep this morning with them on my bed anyway. But started having this stuff in my head, sort of Greta Van Fleet like thing, because they really inspired me when I saw them live. And this rock jam building with big guitar chords and emphasis on the major thirds and stuff like that. And no, I don't know which way I'm going, but I can find my way around. No, it's not fine. But I can feel my way around. You know, this melody of the 21 Pilots song, The Hype, was kind of in a parallel way the same melody as the major stuff, and it was beautiful, and then it shifted into a scattered, very fast beat and some glitchy things and some I want to sneeze. Let me sneeze, God. God damn it. Some beautiful, typical Red Hot Chili Pepper like chord progressions, just the stuff they always do. And just, except that interlocked with that was a major scheme of like a major turnaround, but it was like interlacing with it sonically but also melodically, and just something I can't assess, pure perfection going through my brain. And this happens when I'm sleep deprived all the time. When it's 3 a.m. and I try to go to sleep, that's when it comes, obviously. And that's upsetting by itself, because who wants to get out of bed and record something at 3 a.m.? It's a sacrifice, because then you're not sleeping as much and you're kind of ruining your life. It's a necessary sacrifice if you can assess what you feel, but my ear is not even good enough for me to translate this stuff. It's like that happened, but it was merging and merging and merging, and in the span of 5 minutes there were like 5 masterpieces in my head, and that it makes me want to scream, because it's done now. It's over. It's gone. I know what it sounded like, but it's out of my brain, so I can't translate it. This is something that is like pushing the limits of my human ability to do anything. This is like the hardest thing I can possibly do, is to try to explain my brain away. Not to you, not in this video, but in terms of frequency, in terms of music, in terms of actually translating it into the physical world, taking a piano, taking a guitar, taking a computer, and putting that music in is almost impossible. It's because the information that is in my brain is rhythmical, it's harmonic, it's melodic, and it's sonic. And that's probably the hardest part, is fucking sonic. The sound in my head is pristine. I suck at sound engineering. I could get the melodies and the rhythms together. Melody is really easy. Chords is kind of hard. Rhythm is kind of hard for me, but the melody easy. But then the sound, impossible. I would drive myself crazy trying to find these fucking sounds, because they're like the sounds of drum machines and very specific organic jazz kits on the drums, and the ambience, the synthesizers that are being used, perfect. Nobody's ever done this shit. It's like, it's one thing, and it can't be any other thing. It's fucking honing in on this perfect frequency and tone and EQ, and it's impossible. I can't do this. So Basically, what I'm trying to say is like, sometimes I have shit like that in my head and I try to capture it. And what ends up happening is I do capture it in a way that could be expanded upon and made into something, right? But when you are in it, when you are in the experience of listening to those things, you don't realize how little info you're actually conveying. So like I said, melody is really easy for me. So I'll get stuff like that in my head and I'll just hum the melody, and the next hour, by re-listening to it, it will paint the picture again in my head, pretty much identical. But the next year, though, if I listen to that, it's just a melody. And unless it's like a dream, it's like if you write down your dream, the next week, if you read what happened, it will paint the picture in your head. But, if 20 years pass, it doesn't necessarily happen. I remember a bunch of dreams I had when I was like 3, maybe 4. I don't know what. It's difficult to say the oldest memory of a dream I had. 5 is a really safe bet. I definitely remember some dreams I have had when I was 5. I remember them because I've remembered them. I don't remember the instance of dreaming it when I was 5. Not exactly. I remember remembering it when I was 7 and 9 and 11, and I remember writing it down in journals and shit like that. And so that's what you remember. You remember a distorted version. And with music, it's somehow even harder. It's like if there's no point of attach, if there's no how do you say that? If there's no, like how planes in mathematics collide. If there's no line of of colliding, I guess, between the captured memory, which is the melody you sung, and the actual reality of what was going through your brain at that point, if it doesn't come obvious once you listen to the recording, you're fucked. Because then you can try to expand on that specific partial information and instance of what was going through your brain, but it's not going to paint the same picture. And what matters is not the melody, it's the picture, it's the full context, it's the sonic landscape, it's everything. And I can't do it, all right? And it wasn't up to debate, for debate. It wasn't about a decision at 3 a.m. It wasn't about, oh no, I'm not going to get up because I couldn't capture this. It was just fully obvious that this was experience and all it was meant to be. And it's so sad, but that's life sometimes. I could capture each and every one of those things. I could show the world. I could sell those things. I could make a career from those things. I could be considered extraordinary, maybe, to some degree thanks to that, because it is genius. And it upsets me that it is. It upsets me because when I say it seems obviously completely like manic. People who declare their work is genius. I don't know. Personally, I guess I don't really like that, and I don't like that in myself. I think humility is very important. But I can tell you that it's genius because it's not really me. There's this level of separation from it because, as I said, I don't benefit from the fruits of that work because I don't follow it through to the end and stuff because I am unable to. My ear's not good enough. The circumstances are too complicated. Always happens when I'm in and out of consciousness. Sometimes I do. I capture it, and it's been happening for over 5 years, at least 5 years. I remember a specific dream I had when I was 16 that had like some insane music to it and a saxophone solo that was, Parker level shit, incredible shit. And that's not me. That's the divide. It's like I can't write that. I can't compose any of the shit that was in my brain last night. I can't even understand it. I can't explain it. I can't perform it, play it. I can't even sing it. It's too complicated and too beautiful and too perfect for me personally. So that's why I can say that it's genius, because I don't really feel like that means that I'm a genius. It's just something that happens to me against my fucking will. Oh, did that interfere? But yeah, the point is, yeah, there was no decision. It was just like, bro, if I go through, I didn't really think that, but that was the truth. It's like, if I go through the trouble of getting back up, finding my key, opening the locker, getting something I can record, and humming this shit, even though there are like people around me trying to sleep as well, I'm probably never gonna follow through with this, because the information that I can convey is so small. And also, like, there's like 5 masterpieces. As I said, like, something like 30 seconds, 2 minutes, it changes. You know, it's in my head and then it emerges into something else. There was the rock jam, then there was the percussion based shit, the glitchy, absolute fucking so fun glitchy rhythms, and then the subdued interlaced Red Hot Chili Peppers major jam, and stuff like that. It's like, it's too fast. Like, I can do one of them and then I'll forget the others. And it's just a problem about the limits of the brain. You really have to pick. You really have to pick what you do. And I can't. Like, sometimes I have to just sleep. Because if this happens technically probably every time I try to go to sleep. So I would never sleep. I would die if I got into my head to capture all of that. And yeah, as I said, in life you can write songs, and sometimes you can capture those and you can record those and you can perform those, but sometimes stuff is going to go through your head, at least for me, that is going to happen once and then you'll die, and nobody ever will have heard it, and it was one of the most beautiful things you've ever thought or received, and it's dead. It's never going to happen again, and that's not sad. And it's difficult to accept that that's not sad, and that's not a tragedy by itself. It's only the coding you put on it with your perception, because it doesn't have to mean anything. It doesn't have to be this fear, anxiety inducing, genius thing, industry related thing. It's just notes in your head. It's exactly like the dreams you have at night. If you could turn your dreams into movies, you could also sell that. You could also be called a genius from that. You could do all sorts of things with that. It's just not possible. You can't live like that. You can't live chasing the dream. It's exactly like that. It's like if you had to make a major motion picture from every single dream you have, that's the pressure that's in my head when I have masterpieces in my head. And it doesn't really happen every day. I think I jam 24/7, but I think like kind of genius masterpiece shit like that happens maybe weekly, bi-weekly. I don't fucking know, and bi-weekly doesn't mean shit, by the way. I mean like every 2 weeks. I don't know. It's frequent. All right, could be every day. I can't tell, because you know how you can't tell the moment you fall asleep, and you can't remember exactly what your process was before you fall asleep. That's me with the music. It could happen every day, and I just don't remember, is what I'm trying to say. But it's very upsetting. It makes me very angry. It makes me want to break shit. Makes me want to act out, because this is such a unique problem that nobody gives a shit about. No one ever in the universe can help me with this, because they can't read my head, so they can't help me at all. The only thing I can do is sacrifice now for later, which I hate to do, because life is supposed to be now. And musically I am supposed to be now, but I never am. The only thing I can do is work on my relative ear. Be really, really good at transcribing rhythms and chords and melodies, and become a better sound engineer, and try to have some points of reference. Like, if a synth is in my head, I should be able to approximate it with a instrument. And the instrument will always be faulty compared to the brain. It always will. For some people, it's not like that. For some people, I guess your simulator is not as good as a real instrument. And I'm sure, like, I'm actually sometimes like that too. Like when I get a guitar sound, who knows what it is? It's so hard. Anyway, I wanna fix that. well, I'll never get back all the masterpieces I've lost, but I can make a machine that reads my brain directly. Maybe. Like, I just don't know if a lifetime is like long enough. I don't know if, like, if I start now, am I guaranteed to do it? Probably not, but I want to start. Here's the process. So you have to start with a prototype with melodies, I think. I'll do that because it's convenient for me and it's convenient for everybody. It's a very good way to demo things. Brain-wise, it should work. You have a different concept for every note in a scale, right? Obviously, because you can sing them, you can act them out physically on a piano and stuff. You just have to locate them. If I can locate 5 different concepts and just try to activate them through different ways of thinking, I can make a prototype that will play the pentatonic scale, and then I can improvise a solo with a chip in my brain, basically. Not necessarily directly in my brain, just reading my brainwaves somehow into a machine. I can do that. I guess the actual first step should be to make a 113 machine in Minecraft. What that means is that I developed a transcription of musical theory using mathematics, so I wouldn't get caught in prep class. I guess I've said prep school for years, but it's not really prep school. It's prep class technically. I didn't get caught in prep class. Writing melodies. I can do that in Minecraft. That is gonna give me an idea of what kind of code is necessary. Get me de-rusted with Python again, probably. Do I need Python? I don't need Python. I can enter it in. I can enter the sequences and command blocks directly in Minecraft. I don't know why I thought I would need Python. Maybe for OCR. Do you say OCR in English? I'm not sure. I guess it could be cool to write it down on paper and then scan it and have Minecraft do all the thing. I guess it's cool. It's the same thing, but it's kind of cool if it's physical. I get whatever. So yeah, the 113 mechanism basically. This transcription of music theory can be easily understood by a computer. You input numbers and letters to signify pitch, relative pitch and rhythm, and it's not very sophisticated. You can't do everything, but you can. It's good enough to do anything, because you can just add time, right? You can say, oh, well, this isn't the exact time signature that I want, but I'm gonna just say that it's in 47:47 or something. And so you can cheat. You can just set all these parameters directly with command blocks in Minecraft. So that's step 1 of the prototype. Step 2 of the prototype is obviously, get a chip, get a mind reader chip. I will take inspiration from this dude who played Minecraft using his brain back in 2019. So the one single note activation, that's really goal number 2. So that's extremely easy. You can just meditate and activate a note. That can be done in a couple of days, or a couple of hours, or probably a couple of days. So the third step is really the important step, is actual note sheet transcription and improvisation, where you have the machine on you, and somebody random taken off the street tells you Gangnam Style, and you perform Gangnam Style on the computer remotely. No moving of your toes, no moving of fingers, elbows, knees, belly, chin, ears. There's no secret thing. There's no secret code. It just reads your brain directly. This might have been done before. I hope it's been done. Because if it's not been done, I'm gonna have a trouble doing it, because it's so trivial. It should be so easy. The only thing you have to achieve is concepts. If a machine can tell if you're thinking A or B, then it can generate a C or a D. Um, the letters of the alphabet versus the notes on the scale. A, B, letters of the alphabet. If the machine has a can single out the concept of letters of the alphabet, it can do the same for anything. And it's not even like you can go directly to the note, but you can also assign whatever concept the machine is best at recognizing to the notes yourself. You do the translation. So I guess it doesn't matter as long as it works. It can be slow, it can be tricky, it can require months of training, of high states of meditation. I don't care. As long as it works, it works. And that's step 3. Step 4 is the unknown. After step 3, I don't know anymore. Like step 4 is obviously, the 12th tone, but that's easy. It's the same as 5 tone. It's just 5 tone would be easier to think. It would be easier to code. Slightly. It's fucking trivial, man. It upsets me because I've wanted to do Minecraft step 1 for over 4 years now. And I haven't done it yet. Jesus, that's bullshit. And so, I can translate those things that anger the fuck out of me, like losing great art in my head, into, okay, now I'm really motivated to do the Minecraft stuff. Because by the end of my life, I hope I'm at like step 10 and I plug in and that's it. I plug in, I don't have to play anything. It takes the sonic information, the rhythm, melody, harmony, everything, just performs it for me. Because that is truly the best way to do it. I do not actually wish to be in this rat race with myself and to be a good musician, to be forced into being a good musician, to weirdly understand and translate. I don't want translation. I want expression. I want this stuff that's in my brain to directly be expressed. Because that would be extraordinary. That would be a way of being that is just so fucking awesome. You hear something started in your head and you plug in and it's there. And that's ruined, obviously, because, by the time you can get to multi-track, so you can mix the stuff and you can actually have a good sounding multi-track experience with the stereo, that's very difficult. Stereo in the brain, not so good. Of course, obviously you would miss the intro unless you were plugged in 24/7. We can plug you in 24/7, kind of like Snapchat glasses. I've thought about this for a while. Like, if everybody had glasses that record stuff 24/7, and after every day you would have recorded your whole day, and then for storage purposes, you would just kind of keep the best moments. You would literally, every single cool thing that's going to happen in your life could be safeguarded. And I don't think that's something to strive for, but it's just a fun little concept. But with music, I think it could actually be something worth striving for. If you want to refuse, your mortality and the absurdity of this life, if you want to refuse that sometimes things just happen that aren't meant to be captured, I don't believe that, but I wanna have a choice. I want to be able to be an asshole. I want to be able to be fucking stupid, and to start living my life like a robot and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna capture everything for a year." I want to be able to do that. Not that I want to do it. You understand what I mean? So I'm pissed as fuck. I will never get those things back, and there's really a reason why I didn't stand up last night. There's really a reason why I didn't do this, and it's not because I don't like myself or anything like that, like the self-destructive way you can have sometimes of not moving when you should. I don't know, I wanted to pee on the bus, but I didn't because I was tired, and there's a level of discomfort to doing anything at all in life, right? If you stand up to pee, like, you're kind of self-conscious of the way people are looking, and it's so fucking minor. It doesn't matter when you're not tired, right? If you're exhausted, it kind of changes the balance, I guess. I don't think that's really what was going on. Maybe a little bit of that, but it was mostly like oh, I'm in the presence of a god. Like, I'm in the presence of something that I can't control. Um, I can sing my little stupid melody into this box, but then what? Then what's my life? Then today I have to fucking be here and spend all day acting it out into the world because there's like 5 full songs with insane drums and stuff like that. And if I don't actually fully construct them, they will be lost forever anyway. So you sunk this time in for what? Because, as I said, it's too little. A melody, a chord, anything but everything is too little. You need to, for masterpieces like that, you kind of need to safeguard everything. And I've had times, as I said, when I captured this shit like dozens of times, and sometimes it turned out to be something like Behave. I didn't write that melody, those chords. They happened to me in my head like that when I was dreaming, and I woke up abruptly, and so I was able to record them. And it's not like that complicated or anything. It's just incredibly compelling. The end result and the dream itself, but there's also something like, is this real? Is it really real, or is it just because I'm like, I know this stuff is something, right? Those things going through my brain, I know there's something, but I don't know what they actually are. I won't really know until I can translate them into the world, because when you are in altered states of consciousness, everything is so different. And so it's not that the limits of my assessment lie in harmony. The limits of my assessments lie in feelings, right? Like, I don't have an ear that is good enough to tell you what the notes are, but I don't have a ability to detach myself and take a step back when I'm falling asleep that is good enough to tell you if it's actually genius, or if it's like the way my brain perceives anything at all when it's in that state. And so I'm fascinated by that question as well. I'm like, I want to actually capture it accurately so I can know, because I'm 90% certain that it's absolute genius, but it could be just me tripping out when I'm falling asleep. And the risk of what I'm saying right now is just sounding insane, and that's a risk that you guys know I'm easily ready to take. But I would rather take that risk for a reason, and that reason be that it's actual genius, than keep talking about this for a few years and then accurately capture a few of them and realize, oh, this is ass. So yeah.